All right, guys, and welcome again to Gank Studios, where we talk to the greatest and the best content creators and creatives in the industry here in the Philippines and around Southeast Asia. So today we have a very, very special episode. We're going to be talking about music. So if you guys didn't know, on Gank we have all kinds of creators. We have streamers, we have cosplayers, we have artists, we have gamers, all that stuff. But we also have a lot of musicians who are here on our platform. So I'm very, very happy to say that we have two very special guests today. And the first guest is actually gonna teach us about songwriting, her process in songwriting. And you probably have seen her in TikTok or on her IG, where she makes lots of skits. So not only does she make music and write songs, but she also makes really, really fun, relatable skits. And you can check her out there. Of course, you probably already know her. So guys, without further ado, I would like to introduce Mix Fenix. So what's up, Mix?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, mabuhay. How are you doing?
Yeah,
How you doing,
mabuhay,
Chola?
Mix. Oh yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you? How was your day?
I'm good. I'm good. Very productive day. Doing music, what I love. Yeah.
So is that like a day-to-day thing for you? Like every day you're just like always thinking about music, yeah?
Yeah, actually, it's what keeps my mind busy. I actually have clinical anxiety. So it helps that I'm always like thinking about different song ideas, different sounds, studying. I'm actively like listening to different things. So yeah, that's my life essentially.
And it's cool because I get you, because me as well, like I feel a little bit anxious when I'm not listening to something. So fun fact, even me, like when I'm riding my motorcycle, I have a helmet and then I have a comm device on it. And it's even when I'm on my
Mm.
bike, like some people want to hear their motorcycle and the road and stuff. I can hear the road, but I always have a speaker that's playing music while I'm riding, like as if I was in a car. So I get you. I always, and you never know when inspiration can hit. Because fun fact to all those viewers out there, me and Mix, we met in college. So we went to a an arts, I would say it's an art school. So we had like music courses there, marketing courses, artist courses. And Mix and I, we actually both we auditioned for a talent scholarship, and that's where we met for the first time. So Mix, I actually heard Mix sing before I think the rest of the school did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
and
was a good school. It was very creative and social.
yeah, super. And like, they have
Mhm.
a lot of musicians out there who came from Mint. We have a couple of our batchmates and friends from Mint who actually ended up in Ben and Ben, right? So yeah, that's a
Mhm.
fun fact. And yeah, so Mix here is gonna be teaching us a little bit about her songwriting process through poetry. Because if you've heard some of her music before, they're very, very well written and super relatable. Super. I don't know how to put words into it right now. Like I can't think of how to describe the music. I think people just have to check your music out to really understand, because sometimes you just can't explain just how good that stuff is. Ah, I'm worshiping your music right now. So
Oh,
yeah,
thank you.
let's get started. Mix. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So, guys, Mix
Um,
is ready and she has a presentation for us. So, I'm gonna be going off screen. You might hear my voice from time to time asking some questions, and yeah, I'll be manning her slides. So, Mix, when you tell me, oh man, how am I gonna do this? But yeah, you're watching the stream, I think, so you should be able to see it. So, let's go. Let's start, Mix.
okay.
Ready, and you're up.
Okay. Where can I see the I'm sorry, I'm super Lola. Like, where can I see the
Oh, so you can just say next slide or slide 2, slide 3, slide 4 with your slides. So I can go to the slide you
I
need me to be in.
I can't seem to see your screen actually.
Yeah, I can't
And
stream it right
yeah.
now. But yeah, just tell me which slide if you have your slides open and I'll match you.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. Okay.
All
So
right?
hello everybody. Mabuhay. My name is Mix Fenix, and I will be giving you guys a short presentation on poetry and songwriting. Can we go to the next slide, please?
Yep, introduction.
So a short introduction. I am a singer-songwriter based in Manila. I've been writing songs since I was 13, and I've learned a lot of things going through it. But the number one thing that really helped me jumpstart my songwriting, I would have to credit it to poetry. So poetry is everybody knows what poetry is, I would say. So it was a really good transition from that literary art into music, which is a whole different experience. And me personally, right now, I'm a songwriter, and I'm also the editor in chief of a publication called The New Hue. So I read a lot of the entries. I make sure that things sound good. It's not only grammatical, but also how it sounds, how it affects the listeners. But for this webinar, I'm not really going to be talking about how you're going to be affecting other people. I'm going to be talking about how you're affecting yourself through this process of poetry and songwriting. So poetry is characteristically musical and rhythmic. It is its own form. It's when you read poetry, you can't help but listen to a rhythm. It's somewhat musical when you read it. It's almost like you're singing it in your head when you read poetry. So like the visual arts, paintings in particular, sculptures in particular, it's a silent art that you process with your mind. So you paint the picture with words with more intention in almost every word. So every little detail seems to have intention, seems to have a meaning into it. Some words may have been spelled a different way. Maybe it was intentional. Maybe you changed an S to a Z for some reason. Other words could have been chosen instead of another, despite being synonymous. Maybe you decided, okay, this word seems to send the message better than this word. And there may be a personal story behind the poem, so people will kind of start to relate with it, or maybe like I think a really good example of an artist who is able to touch people's hearts, heartstrings, especially because of her experiences, is Taylor Swift. I'm sorry, I would have to bring up Taylor Swift. She is a legend in that aspect in the music industry because she's able to speak and tell her story, and people understand it and people feel it. So next slide.
So we're slide 4.
Poetry, yes. With poetry, you absorb the words and the story. You are absorbing what it says, and it becomes a picture in your mind. Like when you read a book, when you read anything really, it creates a world in your head. Whereas with songwriting, it's a whole different experience. It's the experience of music and words combined. So it's something just a little more within your reach. You can grasp it a little better. Whereas poetry, of course, there's also room for really analyzing the words into what the intention might be. So next, writing poetry is like meditation. You get to find yourself. In poetry, you find a certain calmness in your head. When you're writing, when you just decide to sit down and decide, nah, I'm gonna do this. I have so many ideas in my head. I need to write this down. This is something that I feel is important to me. So I should write it down and I should take note of this. It gives you that silence that we all kind of need. It gives you a pause in life. And when you start to write, it's like you are in your own world. Words and ideas are scattered across your thoughts like a puzzle waiting to be put together. You have all these ideas, you have all these words. Oh, I learned a new word. Maybe I could use this. Maybe there's a meaning to this word. Maybe I could base the poem on this word even. These are just stuff that's like floating around your head. And you kind of just put them into the paper or laptop, wherever you decide to write your poem. And somehow it becomes coherent. It becomes its own story. It actually makes sense. And you are actively creating with your mind rather than creating art mindlessly. Compared to painting, let's say, I'm pretty sure a whole bunch of painters, other visual artists out there will say that most of their most proud works are not premeditated. They were made on the spot. They just, saw some colors, saw some images, but what they painted might have been completely different. Whereas with writing, it's really more of making a conscious effort to write something, which is why it becomes a whole part of this whole meditation process. So next slide. You find your sound and your own unique style with poetry. So this is what I think is really important when you come from poetry into songwriting. Um, it You develop yourself in what type of writer you are. Are you an Edgar Allan Poe? Are you a Lewis Carroll? You guys might probably not have read their books, but they have very distinct styles. And it becomes a part of who you are. You feel more defined as a person, not only as a writer. Every word you put together is your own because you made those decisions to put these words together. You made these decisions to put this story together. And that's what I think is really important. That's like something that I feel like people who want to write better, who want to write better songs, who want to write better lyrics, they need to understand that it comes from their core. That's why a lot of the musician friends that I know, will always say my songs are my babies because it came from them. It came from their brain womb. What a weird term, but it was birthed out of their brain and it's theirs, and that's what makes it wonderful because you feel like, okay, this is mine. This is something that nobody else can do. So next is, why else is songwriting and poetry important? Because you look at life from different perspectives. Life is, as I would say it, is romanticized. Um, the best way I could put this, rather than explaining it, is by giving you guys a short activity. Now, I understand that it's not going to be a back and forth right now because I'm just really speaking to a screen right now. But as we go through this like really short activity, um, just think to yourself and start to imagine it. So you see an old lady walking on a sidewalk in the province. What is she wearing? Is she smiling? Where is she going? And who has she loved? You start to think about what she has been through. What is she wearing? Is she wearing pambahay? Is she wearing um, clothes for church? Is she smiling? Did she come from somewhere happy? Or is she excited to see somebody? Maybe she's going to see her grandchildren. Maybe she remembered the time when she herself was a child walking to church with her mother. Where is she going? Is it church? Is it a friend's house? Is she visiting a relative? Maybe she's going to the airport. Who knows? And who has she loved? Who are the people in her life? You start to imagine these things and you create a bigger picture of what this person has gone through. And this type of thing can apply to anything that you decide to write about. This is a really good start because sometimes people will say, you know what, I want to write about heartbreak. What about heartbreak? What is it? Are you talking about it from your perspective? What's your story? Or are you talking about it from a story from somebody else? Um, I actually have an example of that, which is my song Language, which was on Spotify. Shameless plugging. But Language is actually a story that I wrote because I typically don't write love stories. But Language I wrote about this girl who was in a relationship with a guy and she wanted to move forward in the relationship, but the guy said no, he's comfortable where they are. So this is her trying to tell him that she's ready for that next step and that it should be okay because they have each other. So, it's the type of perspective. It makes it different. It's, you know, the sound is also a big importance in a song when you start writing songs, but it's also the message, and that's what connects people to your sound and to your story. Poems. Now, this first one is The Road Not Taken. So this is a classic by Robert Frost. Two roads that wait, let me just two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, and leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference. How I would interpret this, but I think it's common knowledge that this is actually a story or a perspective that Robert Frost took where he has two options and he's decided last minute to take the option that he didn't choose initially. And he's thinking that, oh, it's okay because I could always take that road again. But as he continues, he realizes that maybe I won't go back. Maybe this road that I've chosen will take me to a good place. It's really um, a story about life and the decisions that we make, but he makes it a little more concrete. He describes it in a way that we understand that, oh yeah, it really does feel like we have two choices. Will we regret the other choice? Will we be totally content with the choice that we made? And when it comes to the rhythm, because again, poems are both um, both musical and rhythmic. As I would understand this, is that he does use in every other line, he does use rhyming words towards the end. But it becomes awkward at the last line, on the fifth lines. And I would see that as him kind of thinking to himself, like the last line, two roads diverged in wood and I took the one less traveled by. And it's like it was like a pahabol idea na, and that has made all the difference. So he's written that in a way that it was intentional. It didn't have to be rhyming through and through, because there was still a little more that it showed that doubt that he had. So next slide, I would like to introduce you guys to hellopoetry.com. Um, I don't own it or anything, but like when I was in college, somebody introduced this site to me because I was writing poems in like my notebooks, wherever. And it was it's a nice place to put yourself out there. You don't even have to use your real name. Excuse me. You could just post and post, and like it doesn't even matter if anybody reads them. That's the beauty of it. So I would encourage you guys to use this out as like an outlet, if you want to just post your poetry. So the next slide is an example from this website. This is by David Lessard, to an unread poet. I used to read your poems, but lately you don't write. You're silent and aloof. You know that isn't right. You can't close the door once opened, can't abolish all your dreams. You're a poet of the heart, mustn't fall apart at the seams. Say what you can in words, they speak the message true. Spoken from the heart, the poems will see you through. A hermit's not your style, a recluse you are not. Never give up writing of the things that you have been taught. I used to read your poems, I'd read them once again. If you would send them out, this one's from a poet friend. I find this really nice. It's speaking to somebody, it's reaching out to a friend, probably somebody who he has never even met, because it's become this universal thing. And that's the beauty of art. By the way, a little more context. My college undergrad din kasi is on arts management and cultural heritage studies. So I really did study like the different forms of art. So this is where this perspective is also coming from. And I would like to share this with you guys because maybe you will have a different depth or idea of like how to read things and how to understand other people better so that you could also improve on yourself. So when you read this, it it seems to fit the bill of a poem, doesn't it? It fits the bill in a, oh yeah, it rhymes, but it also has that musical sound. When I was reading it out loud to you guys, you could hear now, oh yeah, there's a rhythm, there's just a certain tone to it, and the intention is still there. So that's why this is a really good activity. It's a good exercise, because you get to practice the rhythm, how to put words together, how to make it make sense. So next slide is actually my poem from 2016. So you don't have to take this seriously because I want this to be an example that you don't have to care about what other people think about your poems. So this poem is called TNT, and it became like a riddle. I just like word vomited it. And I'm not using this to like brag now, oh, I can write poems or anything. It's really just to show you guys that it doesn't even have to be a good poem for it to be a poem. You don't even have to share it with the world. So this is what I wrote. Here's the difference between the T and the T. Although they are alike, here's what you don't see. You could see both in this war fought among slaves. One's made from being crumbled, while the other's from being beat. Tyranny or teams, threats or truce. Time tattles the tame, though this tells the truth. T is meant for drawing, while T is meant to lose. They both wanted peace, just one couldn't choose. One gave you a gift, and the gift was a cup. It said world's number one, but number one what? T2 gave a present, and this was your relief. This gift was too grand that you let out a big scream. I hope you guess the riddle, and I hope this makes you think, because T is the tinker, the talker in the tick. T thinks thought politely, through thick, then through thick. Or T doesn't think at all. Now, isn't that a trick? So it's that creative freedom that you get when you write poems, and like you just get to play around with things, and like give yourself that experience. So let's talk about the progress or the process of writing. This applies to, I would say, anybody who feels like they're stuck in a creative block. Maybe you're having a writer's block, maybe you're having a songwriter's block, maybe you're having a block as a painter, maybe as a musician, maybe as, who knows, whatever art form that you have chosen. So every artist has their own process and methods when it comes to creating art, but everyone finds inspiration from the same place, which is life. We are very passionate people. We are very passionate creatures, and we are also very sociable, I would say, that we are inspired by life, what our surroundings gives us. And it doesn't even have to be a good thing. Sometimes it's a sad thing. Sometimes it's something that makes you really angry. So while some people will maybe their process may be like just writing God knows what, like Eminem, how he wrote his raps, and it's just like nakakalat lang everywhere. Whereas other people will get inspiration from just walking around and all of that, which I will explain in the next slides. Smell the flowers. Step into the sun. Take photos of the sky, birds, buildings. Just get those creative juices flowing. Bring a notebook. Write down clever things or things that you observed around you. Go on a picnic, even if it's just by yourself. Lay in the grass. Close your eyes. All these things just to like unwind and like allow yourself to actually feel human once in a while. And finally, you could watch gigs. You can listen to other artists. You could go to other people's performances, maybe theatrical plays, maybe actual gigs at like bars and all of these places, or like the clubs to go watch your favorite DJ and like hang out with everybody and all of that. The second tip is to romanticize everything, or second step in the process, but don't get too delulu. You choose an emotion and you ask yourself, are you questioning life? Are you being optimistic or pessimistic about it? Who inspires you? How do they make you feel? And next, write whenever you feel like it, because nobody can, really tell you what to do at this point. Stop giving a shit about what others think. Rather, if you want to do that, if you want to consider other people in this world, consider how you are giving someone else a voice. People appreciate the value that they get from things. And a really good example of this is the song Inner Child by Tony J. He talks about, love and how he's so comfortable in his relationship because he feels like he's like the child, his inner child is and I find that very beautiful, and other people can relate to this. And this tip actually applies also as a content creator. I don't think that if I just created content for myself, like, I don't know how to explain this, but really it's just that I would prefer to create content that other people will enjoy, other people will relate with, other people will, maybe learn something from, or gain something from. And you don't have to be super proud about what you write, but don't be embarrassed about it either. Like, you don't have to like throw papers all over town saying, this is what I wrote, this is my poetry. You don't have to, but at the same time, I don't think you should be embarrassed about it because that's part of who you are already. Next slide. So when you start songwriting, allow yourself to absorb the elements that could work for a song. You absorb elements like, sounds, different sounds, not only musical instruments, not only a guitar, not only a keyboard. Maybe you could do what Bandit's gonna do, where he DJs and then mixes songs together. Or maybe you could even add other elements like birds chirping or like, I don't know, sound clips from wherever, like maybe just knocking on a door and it becomes a sound sample. Um, Consider the bigger picture. So when you begin writing a song, you create a whole different world for your audience. Like I mentioned earlier, poetry is, what did I say earlier? Poetry, you absorb the words and the story, whereas songwriting, you absorb the experience of the music with the words. There's music and there are other elements that you may choose to add, like what I mentioned earlier. And if you are not having fun writing poetry or songwriting, then allow yourself to take a pause. We all need a pause in life. Maybe you could go back and, um, go through the lyrics again, be like, what did I mean by this? And maybe go back to the inspiration of the songs. So, yeah, I'm gonna give you guys another sample. So, of course, it wouldn't be a poetry to songwriting webinar if I don't sing you guys a song that I wrote. So this song, I think is what I mean by not giving a shit about what other people think. It's I hope this becomes a good example, showing you guys that you can look at different things from different perspectives. This song is called Take Me Home. I haven't released it yet. But this song is actually a song I wrote about religion. That's my perspective, where it's not about religion. It's about how people are practicing religion. And I think that we're looking at it the wrong way. So this is how it goes. Could you show the next slide, by the way? Yeah, it's there. Okay, got it. Here. I'm not a fan of my religion. Too many lives have come and gone. If I had measured every decision, maybe I'd be more godlier than some. But who to judge the other sinner when I myself am one? I refuse to practice my religion unless it teaches unconditional love. But with these two bare hands, I could build something I could live in. A little space to call my own. Bend both knees into a prayer, begging God to take me home. Oh, if you could see what I see, would be like stepping into the sea. Am I the reckless, the black sheep of my kin? What would you see if you were me? See the light, drink the wine, close my eyes, you are divine. See the light, drink the wine, close my eyes, you are divine. See the light, drink the wine, close my eyes, you are divine. What would he do? But with these two bare hands, I could build something I could live in. A little space to call my own. Bending both knees into a prayer, begging God to take me home. Oh, thank you. So that was Take Me Home. And yeah, I don't think I would have found my writing style if not for poetry and the things that I like to write about. So yeah, so for my final side, I will leave you guys with a quote. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you know. And you are the guy who'll decide where to go. And that is by the Dr. Seuss. So thank you guys. I hope you guys learned a lot and not really learned a lot, but more of like feel inspired to write maybe again, maybe just start again, start all over from scratch. I don't know. So yeah, that was my webinar. Thank you. Thank you, gang.
All right. Oh my god, nabalita ko si I showed Bandit by accident. So what's up, Mix? That was so that was a really good song. I was like listening the whole time. I muted myself. And I've been hearing you sing since we were in college, and wow, your style has really grown, and your voice has always been super super beautiful. And thank you so much for treating us to that webinar. It was super insightful, even for me. Like as songwriter myself, I feel like I learned a lot, honestly, because
Oh, thank you.
I mean, my process is so different, and I feel like I can do so much more now after listening to your tips and how to experience things and how to put them into words and turn it into poetry and then into a song. It's just wow. Thank you so much, Mix, for doing this for us and
Thank
treating
you.
us to a
I'm,
song.
I'm
Yeah,
glad that you feel that way. Yeah, because like I don't really want like people to see this as like, oh, this is the one way to do it. It's just one of the many ways that you could do this, and maybe like it will help you guys knowing that, or knowing how other people are working also. So yeah.
that's right. Because you don't always know how you can improve a style that you're so used to until you see other people work or know how other
Agree.
people work, and then you can adapt. Not
Yeah.
not necessarily everything, but you can get bits and pieces, or maybe you might even decide not to follow it. But then when you're out there and you're in a park or you're walking in the mall or whatever, it just comes back to you, and it's
Mm-hmm.
applied on its own automatically. So yeah,
Okay.
wow. Thank you so much, Mix. Let's have a little bit of
Thanks,
a Q&A.
Bella.
If we have any questions, let's just leave a little, maybe a couple of minutes. So, guys, do you have any questions for Mix? Please do comment them down below, and we're gonna answer them for the next 5 minutes if we have any. So, we get a lot of these
Mhm.
comments though come in after the stream is done. So, let's see.
We can I don't mind if we move ahead instead.
Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah.
I think there was no room for questions anyway because you had such an insightful presentation that was full of information, and it's pretty straightforward as well. Thanks for the slides as well. Yeah, for that.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, Mix. Guys, do you want if you want to listen to Mix, I'll let her promote herself. If you want to share where they can find your music, find your stuff, your social media accounts, please do promote.
Yeah. I'm on almost all social media platforms. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and all of that at Mabuhay Mix. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Mabuhay
it so
Mix.
far.
So
I'll also be performing at some FET stages this June 22 and 28. So I'll be announcing it in my social media also naman. If you guys want to watch me live. Yeah.
all right. So if you guys want to watch Mix live, stay tuned on her social media. She is an amazing performer live. I swear. I saw her perform so many times in school, like in our cafeteria sometimes, in the concerts and stuff like that. So really great performer, awesome songwriter, and please do support her. So thank you so much, Mix. And
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna move on to the next portion. So first we had songwriting, and next we have another special guest. So he's someone I always see in events because this guy, he knows how to make a brand for himself. He knows how to put himself out there. He's always a DJ in these events I go to. I'm a cosplayer, but I go to like parties and stuff, and I go to like even like the ones with like Riot and stuff. Yeah, he's always there, and I'm pretty sure once you see him, you're gonna know exactly who I am talking about. And without further ado, with his how to start DJing workshop, please do welcome DJ Bandit.
YouTube mag-ingay! De, joke lang.
All right, what's up, man? So, how you doing, bro?
Ito, I had to wake up a little bit earlier than usual because I wake up at 5, but we had the tech run. I had to take a shower early, so...
It's
Good
all
morning!
good morning to you. Your life is, of course, you're a DJ, so you're always up at night until the
Yeah.
madaling araw, like super early in the morning. And thank you so much, my dude, for making time for this. We are honored to have you here because we know there's so much you can share, and I don't want to take away from that. I'm just gonna be quiet here and just ask you questions from time to time. But the floor is yours, my bro, and take it away, man.
Horizon! De, joke lang. What's up, guys? So, I'm DJ Bandit, and it's crazy to see some of the people that support me. Nakita ko sila sa comments. Makulit sila. And let's start! Pwede ako muna?
Yes, but not too solid. Like I guess, like if it comes out, it comes out.
Okay, I can't say it too solid, so let's start with what do DJs actually do? I know we have a stream delay, and guys, comment kayo. What do DJs do? I think while we're waiting for the comment until they see my question is unahan ko na sila sumagot. Parang si Dora.
You're really waiting. Oh, I think he froze.
Okay, that's a different thing. DJs, essentially, what they do is they pick music. So, para silang waiter, taga-serve lang sila. They don't, waiters don't choose what to serve. I don't know anong analogy. Medyo nahulog ako dun sa rabbit hole ni Mix, and masyadong nag-deep yung pag-iisip ko. So DJs are basically song selectors, and that's what we do. Yung mga gumagawa ng music, ng beats, those are called producers. I just want to get that out there na people always mistake that. But although DJs mostly also produce. So ako, I make my own edits. Sometimes I make remixes. Sometimes I make mashups. But mashups can be done live. Anyway, what DJs do, binubuhay nila yung dance floor. We pick the music, the right one at the right time, and by judging people. So, DJs are very excellent judgers. So, judger kami talaga. So, if you see me looking at the dance floor going like this, I'm judging you guys. I'm judging your age. I'm judging the gender. I'm judging the everything. I judge everything. Lasing na ba to? Hindi pa ba ito lasing? And from there, that's how I pick my music. So, marami bang couples? If maraming couples, that's when you'll see me pull out the Laney. Oh, so bad! Shit! Bandit for senator. Wait lang, mamaya na yan. I'm not gonna read the comments for now. I'm gonna get distracted. I have ADHD. Fun fact, I have ADHD. And I'm kind of autistic. So, what do you need to get started as a DJ? Let's jump to this next topic para makapag-Q&A tayo agad later.
Yes, sir.
What do you need to get started as a DJ? First, you need to get a cheap equipment like this. These cost around, I don't know. It cheaper.
It varies, right? Like there's
It
some
varies,
really affordable ones, like starter sets, and there's some really
Yeah.
really expensive ones.
The starter sets are below 20,000. The ones you see in clubs, the ones you see in my videos, the ones I use in the clubs, the DJs don't own that. We wish we do, pero those setups cost around 500,000 above. So the one sa last video that I uploaded, I think that was in Urban. Yung setup nila is around 800,000 pesos. So that's something na I don't think I'll ever buy. Even if I become super rich, that's too much. Pero, so basically, you need to get yourself a cheap equipment and a laptop. What this does is it emulates a turntable. It's not really a turntable. It's called controller. And from here, you can mix, but you need a laptop. When you have the laptop, you download your songs. That's it. If you want to learn how to mix, There are different ways to go about it. There's a lot of good YouTube tutorials, but there are people who are not good with learning on their own. So that's when you should go to a DJ school. And shameless plug, we're gonna be opening a DJ school very soon. Maybe next month it's gonna open. We're currently renovating it. So kung di mo kaya matuto sa YouTube, go enroll. But I'm not saying that you can't learn if you don't go to the school. I shouldn't be saying that because I'm opening a DJ school. But I learned I learned to YouTube. Nobody taught me. I'm one of the few DJs that don't have a mentor. So you definitely can learn on your own. Definitely. It's kind of hard. It took me longer to learn things I could have learned in one day, maybe months.
Yeah, that's true. And like it everyone has their own pace. Me, like you mentioned producers a while ago, and I'm a music producer. I make my own music. And I learned that on my own. I had no mentor as well. It took so long though. But it paid off because you know how hard you work, and the value of your work as a DJ and me as a producer, diba? And it's so cool, dude, that you're gonna open a DJ school, man.
Yeah, dude. So super exciting DJ school. So for example lang, the reason DJ school exists, although you can basically learn everything on the net right now, is for example ako, when I was learning how to DJ, they kept throwing terms that a fucking newbie wouldn't understand, like they would throw out the words beat matching, BPM, and I'm like, as somebody just on YouTube, I'm like, ano yun? So that's where the DJ school helps. You get the one-on-ones, you get to ask stupid questions, unlimited stupid questions. So yeah, I want to help people not to go through what I went through. But there's also other DJ schools around, but that's up to the people. Anyway, let's stop with a shameless plug of the DJ school. This third topic, sorry, I'm just going to over yung first two other topics that I wanted to talk about. Because this one is kind of long. It's going to be long. So, how to succeed as a DJ. All right. So, is everyone following or I'm speaking too fast?
Yeah, no, your pace is awesome, dude. Like go. You're doing great.
So, how did I succeed as a DJ? So, when I was a new DJ, obviously I practiced 10 hours a day. So, I even have calus on my hands to show. So, I don't know if my camera is good enough to pick it up. See? So my fingers have these, yung mga bilog. So that's from touching the knobs so much.
Whoa.
So I used to practice every day, 10 hours a day. I'd wake up, I'd record the mix 1 hour long, and then I'll spend another hour listening to that mix and then trying to figure out why it sounds good or why it sounds bad, rather. It sounds bad most often. Nerf review. Yeah. So being good is a huge aspect to being successful as a DJ, but it is not everything. This is something I wish I discovered early on my career. So being successful as a DJ is all about marketing. So like any other artist or content creator, marketing is everything. It doesn't matter if you're the best out there, if nobody's out there interested to listen to you in the first place, then it doesn't fucking matter, diba? Like it doesn't matter if you have the best steak in the world. If nobody's willing out to try it, kasi pangat yung menu mo, pangat yung presentation mo, it doesn't matter. That's why we have yung mga random na mga restaurants going viral na inaano ng mga food vloggers, and then people say in the comments, dito masarap, dry daw. So, sumikat siya. That's the point, right?
Yeah.
So it's 50% marketing, being an artist. I don't think this one is limited to being a DJ. Definitely, it goes the same for everything else. Content creators, singers, and I'm not saying you don't have to have good content. So, being skilled gets you, let's say, the gig. Being skilled gets you the gig for the second time. Getting the gig for the first time is all about marketing. That's the thing. So a lot of people, especially new DJs, they struggle with getting their names out there, getting booked for shows, getting booked for gigs, because they don't market. A lot of I have younger DJs under my wing, and I keep telling them na You need to market yourself. It's the most important thing. And I personally know, I'm not going to be name dropping, but I personally know a lot of artists na, you know, like viral, parang kwenteng content, but they got out there. Nag-cash out na sila. It's okay. They already reached heights na a lot of other artists are not gonna reach. Wala lang longevity. So it has to be balanced. Your marketing should be balanced with your skill. Always, always practice. Nobody is born the best. When Michael Jordan wasn't born being the best basketball player, right? It's a talent. You hone it. So there's always room to grow. Medyo nawawala ako sa topic.
No,
That's
it's okay.
just-
You're doing good, man. And it's true,
We
like
all have-
you really
Oy,
work hard to hone your skill, because you know how they say, like, if you're a guitarist, you get calluses, right? You get calluses from using the guitar. I didn't know you get calluses from, you know, practicing DJing for a whole day. So
Yeah, I didn't know also, but my hands are here.
yeah, but like, you know, like a lot of people have this misconception that DJs have it easy, but that's not true, especially for the ones who really work hard in their craft, like just like you, man.
Alright, so I heard that DJing is easy. Okay, I want to go back to the second topic on how to get started as a DJ. Learning how to DJ is fucking easy, super duper easy. All right, anyone can pick it up. I always tell people you can learn how to DJ in one day, right? It's like driving. Anybody can learn how to drive a car, right? It's super easy. The problem is, not everybody will be, which is the sad truth, not everybody can be a professional race car driver. Like, doesn't mean na marunong ka na mag-DJ, doesn't mean you're a good DJ, right? Doesn't mean you'll get booked for shows. Doesn't mean people will want to see, will want to come out and see you. So, madali siya, ang entry level niya, madali. But, like, the skill stealing, it can be as hard as you want it to be. And that's what's gonna separate you from everybody else. So, ako, personally, I like to, syempre, nag-practice na ako 10 hours a day before when I was younger, and now I'm proud to say I'm pretty skilled. I'm pretty good at the technical aspect of things. And, wait, ano nga sinasabi ko? No, I'm kidding. So, it's easy to learn. For anybody who wants to get into DJing, don't be scared. Alright? If gusto mong gumaling, there are people to help you out. There's the YouTube, and there's the Bandit DJ School. Shameless plug number 5. Anyway, let's go back dun sa kaninang topic ulit. Success, right? Marketing. Marketing is everything. So, before the stream started, guys, actually, napag-usapan namin ni Cholo, the host, is, dito pala sa kabila. Napag-usapan namin na my hair is so hard to maintain, right? When I spend 7,000 to 8,000 pesos for the maintenance of my hair. Haircut every week is 500 plus 200 pesos tip. That's every week, plus the hairspray, which is around 7,000, 5,000 a month. So, sobrang dami hairspray. Kasi ang haba ng buhok ko, and you really need a lot of hairspray to keep it standing like this. Spend a lot. I hate it. It's super hot. Pero, it's all about branding. So you see me playing, you see me DJing, right? You see me DJing once, you say, oh, this guy's good. You're titingin ka sa DJ booth. Sino to? Magaling siya. I like him. But that doesn't really necessarily mean that you'll pull out your phone and you look me up on Instagram, right? You'll probably just look, oh, magaling tong DJ na to, and then just go about your night, party with your friends, try to hit on the girl that you crush mo, ganun. But if you see me again next week, oh, this guy is good. Paglingon mo, uy, gago, this was the guy last week. You'll recognize me. That's why I invest so much in branding.
That's so true,
that's
man.
Diba? Tama,
Because
diba?
I was saying earlier before the stream started, I was walking in BGC and far away, I saw you from far away. See your hair, recognize you immediately, walk to you, I'm like, hey, what's up, man? And
So that's-
it's recognizable talaga. And it's important.
Diba?
That's why a lot of streamers also color their hair or something
Yep.
like that, because there's that retention there. There's that recallability. So they might not remember you from your content, but they can remember what the content made them feel. If the content made them laugh or made them angry or happy, they'll remember that and they'll associate it with the appearance, like visually, like your feeling, and then what they saw, like this girl with pink hair and glasses, something like that, right?
Yan.
So, exactly. So if they had a
That's
good time
why-
in your set, during your set, they'll remember. This is the
That's
guy.
why brand recognition is so important. That's why I go through all the lengths to look the way I do. Kasi I want people to recognize me. Kasi even if they enjoy what I did tonight, doesn't necessarily mean na they'll be fans. Maybe they have to see me four more times. Pero at least they'll recognize me every time they see me. Oy, it's this guy again. Oy, siya na naman. Oy, siya na naman. Sige, follow ko na nga sa Instagram to. Kasi favorite ko talaga tong guy na to. So that's why you have to put in so much effort. Then, there's the other thing. The other thing, this one, this is the third thing to success, I think. Which I'm not really that good at. It's content creation. So I tell a lot of new DJs that nobody looks at press kits anymore, right? Press kits are basically the resumes of DJs. It's like a portfolio ng DJs. And me, I've been handling the booking for artists in Versus, in BGC, for quite a while now. I think mga 5 years more. So I've been I scout for artists and I screen the DJs if there's a new DJ, new upcoming talent, and they apply to me. One thing is nobody looks at press kits anymore. Nobody asks for press kits anymore, right? Portfolios are dead, guys. Telling you, portfolios are dead. Instagram is the new portfolio. So content. You need to create content, get your name out there on the internet, and then that's your portfolio. Because if you message me asking for a gig in Versus, you send me a press kit, I will look at your press kit, but I will look at your profile more. I'll check your profile. I'll see, marami ba tong, may gigs ba to? Saan ba yung gigs niya? May videos ba siya? I want to see the videos of your gigs. I want to see if sumasayaw ba yung tao. I want to see if people show up when you're playing. Like, do you have a following? Yung ganun. So, like, 3 things you need to succeed. Skills, branding, and marketing, which is SOCMED, social media.
That's true.
All right.
Man.
Diba?
Like for me, in my perspective, the way I do things is Facebook, I just post whatever. Pero when it comes to Instagram, I keep it aesthetic. It's kind of like an online portfolio, right? So like people who want to, like brands who want to work with me, they'll go to Instagram. They're gonna see, they're all there, nakalatag. They're all just framed prettily, like all my cosplays, all the projects that I worked on, whatever. You can put your featured posts on top, the ones you're most proud of. That's really important.
Yeah, dude, totoo. Kasi, if you want to make it as an influencer or as any kind of artist,
Yeah.
and you want to make extra money, or you want to get booked for more shows, one thing that I noticed is nobody ever asks for my TikTok. Nobody asks for my Facebook. They only ask for Instagram. I mean, of course, there's different brands who will ask for TikTok and Facebook. But in my scene, in my industry, brands na revolving around nightlife, let's say, for example, San Miguel or maybe Rosa Cuervo, they ask for Instagram only. So, a lot of different brands also ganun eh. Like not just the liquor brands, but clothing brands. I recently just worked with The Real. They ask for Instagram also. Kaya parang pati na Instagram mo, they have followers, they have good engagement. And so Instagram is like the online portfolio. Super agree ako dyan sa'yo, Cholo.
Because when you look at Facebook, there's no easy way to see everything. You have to scroll down. You have to keep scrolling down, and you never know if you're actually gonna get to the part that you're looking for. Like, does this guy do fashion? Like, you keep scrolling down, like parang wala, and then they're just about to see it, but then give up. But on Instagram, they can see it right away. Oh, my camera's moving.
Yeah. At saka, one industry secret is marami daw pera yung mga nasa Instagram.
The demographic thing, like
Yeah.
there's a certain demographic that's really heavy on Instagram, right?
Yeah, totoo. It's just the way it is. So if there's any aspiring DJs out there, um, don't be afraid to get started. Just just do it. Ito lang yung pinaka hurdle. But you can connect this to computer as well. If you don't have a laptop, me, I'm a DJ. I don't have a laptop. So that's why I'm very picky about the venues who book me. Because sometimes there are venues that require DJs to bring a laptop. And I'm like, I don't have a laptop. So I can't play there. I'm so sorry. So this is your biggest hurdle. You need controller. Dish out 15,000. Look for second hand equipment. Buy this. Go on YouTube. If you want to learn more, enroll in a school. It's very easy to get into. Sobrang sarap ng DJing. Like, dude, I swear, ang sarap ng DJing. Ano yung feeling? Do you know the feeling na nandun kayo, may road trip kayo, tapos sa'yo binigay yung Spotify connection?
That's true.
Ikaw pipili ng music for the
Yeah,
road
man.
trip.
And then you
Imagine-
want to flex your favorite songs and the stuff that makes you bop and stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Imagine doing that in front of thousands of people, right? Okay, sarap. But this is my songs, guys. These are the songs that I like. And then you just pick according to what they like. Diba sometimes na kapag ikaw yung designated Spotify guy sa road trip, you don't necessarily just play your songs, diba? Like, ipipili mo rin eh. Parang ano yung mga kasama ko, ano kayo magugustuhan nila. Ano, I'm gonna play some death metal tracks. Probably baka mag-start muna tayo ng maybe Taylor Swift. Then from there, you choose. Maybe you get deeper. Maybe you get mas mababaw. Diba? So imagine doing that live, expressing yourself through music. Sobrang saya. Sobrang saya. It's the best. It's the best. And I love my job. I've been doing it since 2016 and nababurnout ako, yes. There will be times I hate DJing. I fucking hate it sometimes. Kasi sawang-sawa na ako. But like, I always bounce back. And there's no way you can keep bouncing back from something that isn't good. You know? Like, ang sarap maging DJ. So like, I love it. I love it. I'm sure if you are a music lover, you will love it as well. Namatay yung ilo ko.
Yeah, lata, man. It's not obvious. But yeah, that's so true. That's so true. It's so cool because both you and Mix talked about expressing yourselves through different mediums of music. Hers was songwriting through poetry, and then yours was, of course, being a DJ, and then basically reading the room and sharing how you would interpret it through the music that you have. Okay?
Yeah.
So yeah, is there any more points you want to share with the audience?
Follow me on Instagram, guys.
There you go, there you go.
struggling.
So what's your Instagram? What are your socials? Please do share them out before we do a little Q&A if we have any questions.
At Bandit X DJ. That's my Instagram. Don't look me up on Facebook. I don't want people to know my real name. It sucks.
Oh, should I dox you? But I'm kidding. So yes, please do follow I almost doxed you. Please do follow DJ Bandit. He is such a great DJ. But even if you're not following him, I'm pretty sure if you go to the club, if you go to events and stuff, you are going to see him. And now that you've seen him on Gank Studios, for sure recognizable as heck. Now, if you have any questions, you guys can comment them while we are still live. But yeah, thank you so much for imparting that information. And everything you said is true. I related to a lot of the things you were saying, actually. Because as a producer, it's actually super similar. I learned by myself. My dad was actually a DJ before he passed away. He was living in the States and he was doing gigs. His controller was so big, man. It was a Pioneer DJ, like really, really expensive, huge controller. And he told me how much it was. It was like 200, 300K. I was like, what the heck? And yeah, sad to say it never went to me after he passed away. But yeah. Yeah, lots of similar stuff. Reading the room, being able to express yourself through music. In my case, as a producer, it's always like finding the right sounds that would kind of talk about or like show the emotion that I'm trying to give. Now, I'm trying to choose questions because some of these are really funny. How tall are you without the hair? He's tall, guys. He's tall even without the hair. Trust me.
Ayan, I'm 6 flat without the hair. So until here, I'm 6 flat. With the hair, I'm 6'2". Extreme pa nga eh.
For sure. Here's a nice question. Burnout warning signs.
Burnout warning signs. All right. So this happened to me. This used to happen to me a lot before. So some of you may know that I used to do gigs almost every day, right? Monday to Saturdays, every week. Minsan dala-dalawa pa yan per night. And mangyayari, signs that you're getting burnt out as a DJ is creativity is gone. You're playing the same flow, same songs every night. Creativity is gone. Di ka excited. Bad trip ka. Ayaw mo na mag-update ng library. You don't want to look for new songs. That's one of the signs na I always look out for. So there's one solution to that is just do less gigs.
That's true.
Do less gigs.
What people forget to, like, especially for creatives, like cosplayers, content creators, streamers, and DJs, musicians, is it's not a hobby. It's not just a hobby. It's a passion that's a career. It's a job. And anyone with a job, like, no matter what job that is, no matter how much they love this job, they will get burnt out. They will get burnt out. They could be traveling around the world, changing country every other day, or like, every week na sa ibang bansa. They'll get tired. They'll get burnt out. It's unavoidable. And just like any other job, they still, like with a regular job, you'll go on vacation. You'll take a rest. You'll take a break. You'll take a leave. And those are things that we have to, it's harder for us because technically work never stops, You're always thinking about it. What to do next? How am I gonna put food on the table? But you need to know when to rest.
Yeah, rest is super important. Like, I know it's very hard for DJs to rest. Kasi pag mag-rest ka, you stop doing gigs for a week. And we all know DJs get paid pretty well, right? So you stop DJing, DJs get paid per night. So if 7 days ka mag-skip on gigs, that's 7 nights of money, right? It's kind of hard, pero at the same time, if you're looking to longevity, I think it's better to take breaks. Kasi cut your losses. Maybe you have to take 2-week break. Cut your losses. You're gonna lose money, pero in the end, you're gonna be able to maintain the quality that you put out. You're gonna get booked more, and tataas yung TF mo. Thank God I'm at that point where my TF is higher than average. So I have the luxury to do less gigs. Pero I know it's pretty hard for the ones na, especially the newer DJs na they're doing with the minimum TF. And it's really hard to pass out on opportunity. Pero don't forget na mental health pa rin. Kasi ako, guys, I went through a lot of times na my friends know this na ako, I'm like always saying na parang, I don't want to DJ anymore. I want to just stream or maybe do a different job. And yeah, it gets that bad. Pero if it really is for you, if you really like what you're doing, maka-bounce back ka every time. I've bounced back more than 100 times because I've been burnt out more than 100 times.
That's true.
I'm still here, I'm giving out my best, still as passionate as ever. And yeah, I love what I do.
And that goes back to what Mix was saying earlier. It's during those breaks when you're not doing what your work, your job, where you can smell the flowers, touch grass, and like you see a different perspective on things, and it actually helps you because when you come back, you have a new perspective, you have new music, you have new inspirations, new things that make you happy, and you can, as musicians, we translate that in our sets, in our songs, in our
Especially like ako, like sometimes I'd be making edits of a track, and then pipilitin ko siya matapos in one night, right? So hanggang sa point, maybe on the 3rd hour, nakatunga na lang ako sa computer ko, and I fucking hate it. I'm like, there's just no way I can make this edit work. So I'm gonna close it, maybe forget about it for 5 days, and then pag open ko ulit ng project file, I'll be fucking like mind blown na parang puta, simple lang pala lang kailangan ko gawin to make it okay, di ba?
I have those
Like,
moments.
Oh,
Like I edit vlogs, and then like I'm editing the whole day, and I'm like, damn, this is trash. This is garbage. This is bad. And then I stay off. Sometimes I have lunch. I go to the gym. I spend the day out. I play a game. The next day, I watch it again, and I'm like, this isn't trash. This is actually pretty good. Now that now that I'm desensitized from having worked on it for so long, I realize if I watch this as a viewer, this is pretty good. You just need a different perspective on things. Like a cool
burnout.
down. Yeah, burnout. You know what
So
they say,
sa
when you're burning out, you can't see past the smoke. So you
yo,
gotta wait for
like
that.
that.
You gotta wait
Okay,
for
oh.
that to get out, you know. Ayun. So yeah, I think that was a really good question, and thank you so much for sharing that, man. And you shared your socials. Please do follow him at Bandit X DJ on anywhere but Facebook because he doesn't want to dox his real name. And guys, thank you so much for sticking around here on Gank Studios. So thank you so much, Bandit. I'll catch you again soon. So I'll just do my outros and bye, dude. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
So, guys, thank you so much for sticking around. Hope you guys enjoyed that workshop. Two sides of the same coin: music, the music industry, songwriting. So, Mix does acoustic stuff, a lot of indie stuff, and a lot of I don't know how to describe her music. It's very up, dharma, down, like what Bandit said when we were waiting for the stream to start. And we have DJ Bandit, who also does a lot of great sets when I go to gigs, like festivals. When I was in Howlers, he does a lot of those festivals. He goes to clubs, and yeah, I honestly, I see this guy more than I see my high school classmates. That's how often I see this guy, and it's not because we plan to see each other. It just happens that he's everywhere. This guy's a hard worker. They're both hard workers, and I hope you guys can support both of them. And yeah, stick right here, and hope you guys can like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to see more of these workshops, see more of these hardworking artists sharing their secrets and their processes. And yeah, I was your host, Charlo Tolentino. Hope you guys enjoyed.